Wait, maybe we're not live over there. Nope, we should be. Okay, I think we're live. Can you guys see me on both things? Should be good over there too. I don't. So let me know if I'm lagging over there or not. We'll hop in. We're gonna hop in around. We're just gonna play, y'all. We're gonna do our regular old thing. Jack, thank you for the sub with Prime. 4 days. Vader Zim. Oh no. Oh no. And Chandel, thank you for the heart me. Over here. Okay, slay. Drink 3 5-hour energy drinks. I feel like a jiggly ball. Okay, baddie. Okay, baddie. Hi, Brittany. Yeah, we'll see if it continues. We'll wait to see. It was good, Emily. It was fun. But we should be up, y'all, on all the things. So we'll get us going. Hello, y'all. Cute skin. Thank you. And y'all, I want to see, because we are not going to be live tomorrow, by the way. So I want to see if we can really hit up our goals today and go crazy stupid. All right, let's see if we can do it, baddies. All right.
Baby, I shake that ice.
I'm going to challenge us. We got some work to do, though. It's okay, Sav. No, we are not going live tomorrow. Hi, Low Energy. Hello, y'all. Welcome back over here. Well, is that Blair Wardolph? No, it's Luffy. It's Luffy or Love. Hi, Life with Cats. Yes. We should be all back to normal now. Beccaroni, thank you for this up too. But yes, I'm decided to take a day off tomorrow, guys. I'm gonna go visit my friend, and then we're going to a Pokemon card show on Saturday. So I'm taking like a little trip in my favorite rocket ship, going through the sky, Little Einsteins. It was good. It was really good. The TikTok thing was a lot of fun, actually. It was cool to be on like the TikTok official channel, you know. So that's what I'm doing. So that's why. So we're not going to be live tomorrow. I decided I wasn't sure if I was going to take off or not, but I said, you know what? Between talking to you guys a little bit about the burnout that I've been having and things, and like my emotional level on things, I was like, you know what? Tomorrow might be a good day to do it. So we're gonna do it. You know, we're gonna do it up. Hi, Kylie. How are you? It's good to see you. And for those reasons, Patties, we're gonna work our asses off today for the goal, shall we? Remember chocolate milk or coffee with banana? Ooh, yes, absolutely. And guys, if the lag is still crazy on TikTok, please let me know. We have to refresh the TikTok, but we will. I'm gonna try and not refresh it unless we absolutely have to. I think it's just, I believe that TikTok was just being funky because of me being connected to the other things, but hopefully for those coming in. I know some are experiencing lag, some are not. So it's for those who are, there is a way to turn it down. It's fine for a moment, then it lags. Lag is bad on TikTok. Yeah, I think we're just gonna have to restart on TikTok. I do believe so. Okay, well, you know what? Let's do it. Let's just restart on TikTok and we'll restart. I don't want to, if it's a bad lag, I'd rather just restart. You know what I mean? I'd rather just restart on TikTok if it's like, I'd rather just like be able to like restart and have it be fine than like us constantly having to be like, is it lagging for some people? So what we'll do, guys, I need you guys to come right back and help us with the taps and stuff. We'll end the live on TikTok and we'll be right back. So just like refresh for me and come right back in. It may not be like for you, but it is like a thing that's happening right now. I'll be so fast. We'll be right back. So give me like 2 seconds. I'm going to end the live and restart it and we will rock and roll. Okay. And save your heartbeats for then too, y'all. And I'll be right back. 2 seconds, y'all. All right, we ended on TikTok, baddies. So we went Twitch, yes, yeah. All right, let me get the TikTok restarted. Here. I think quite literally the TikTok thing is because I was connected to 2 platforms. Yes. All right, y'all. I do want to ask us if we can really push and slay our goals today, though, on the plats. That would really be so slay. All right, we're hitting the go live button, hopefully. Oh my God, no, the audio is doing that fucking thing. Every time I log out and re-log in, it does this issue with the audio every time. It's so annoying. I don't know why it does that. Like, it's actually stupid. Hold on, guys. Give me a second. What happened while we reset? I mentioned it in the live like 4 times, y'all. Just make sure to listen when I talk about it, y'all. I love you, but just listen when I talk about it. Hey. Okay. All right, we are hitting the go live on TikTok now. All right, we should be up on TikTok now. Hopefully there's no lag. Hopefully there's no lag. And guys, we have a hype train incoming as well on purple. Okay, we should be back up on TikTok, y'all. Should be back up. Hopefully we'll do our taps. We're gonna do we'll do our full re-show again. Okay, welcome on in. Now that we did our fun little moment. Hi, King. Hello. Since we did our fun little moment, baddies. Okay, we should be back. Hello, Lex. Hello. Hopefully this fixes the lag. We shall see, though. We will keep an eye on it to see. A moment for the dress. I know. We are back, honey. Let's get tapping and sharing, y'all, as per usual. Thank you for being here. We did have to reset the live, y'all. I did have to like restart because TikTok was lagging because of the connection thing. So now we are live on both platforms on our usual regular time, rocking and rolling for the next little bit. Hi, Cad. Hi, Ethan. And welcome in. Let me do like a little heart me goal. Let me do like a mini one. Let me do like a mini heart me goal, y'all. See if we can do like 20 heart me's. There we go. We'll do that. It does look better. Okay, good. Yes, you guys should be able to make sure to like redo everything. I think it really was just because I was connected to two accounts, so that's why. But yes, let's get them rocking and rolling. And if you're just running in, welcome in, y'all. We had a fun little takeover on the TikTok gaming channel for the last hour and a half, and then we just restarted the TikTok now. We really think for the first heart me to get us we were having some lag issues and connection issues just to get things back up and running. But now we are back on both platforms on our regular stream and on our regular time-ish. So let's rock and roll. Okay, hi Ryan, how are you? And don't forget your daily heart beats if you're coming in too, y'all. All right, as you're coming in. Hi, Glitter Goddess, how are you? Stevie, thank you for the heart me. Ready for Papa. Yeah, it was fun. The one thing I was nervous about, guys, is I was like, can I be nasty? I was like, ooh, I don't think I can mention, sucking somebody's dad off. You know what I mean? I was like, ooh, girl, better be careful. It was good, Samantha. Ella, thank you for the Rose Cobra. Thank you for Harley. Thank you for the sub with Prime. But it was a lot of fun. So I had a good time with it. Hi, Bailey. We're just restarting on both the platforms now. So we're doing our full back on. So for everybody who's been here already, you're like, sorry, you're going to see everything again. But if you are new here, let's do our little intro to get us started. And don't forget your daily heart music if you're coming in and haven't dropped one yet on TikTok.
Bitch, you know I'm
Zesty. Okay.
Don't call, just text me, bitch.
I didn't personally know.
Oh my God,
She's bald.
ITGIRL. You know I am that girl. Shh, bitch, don't kiss and tell. It girlfriend
ATL. And let's see if we can go in. And by the way, if you're scrolling by and want to leave a follow for a Zesty Bestie on either platform, that would be so slay. We would love to have you. All right. We'll see who the first one is on TikTok as we got things restarted here. Oh my God, she's about love me some Gothic skins. Yes, absolutely. Whoever the first one is, we'll do a little shout out for. Okay. And thank you guys so much for being here. I do hope you're having a good day, by the way. Ours, yes. Oh my God. Bailey, thank you for the Zesty Bestie mints, by the way. She's bald. Listen, we're slaying. Miss Nobles, thank you for the follow on Purple. I appreciate it. Kate, thank you for the heart me and the go popular. Hi, Charlie, welcome in. Guys, don't forget your daily heart music for coming in. Thank you. We did reset the live here. We did do a full reset, baddies. Hello, it's Lexi as well. So if you've been wondering where we were earlier, if you missed my announcements, guys, we did have a fun moment where we were invited to be on the TikTok Gaming Live channel. So we went live today at 3 p.m. EST to be on that channel. That's why we had a later live. We finished that hour out. I had to reset the live, and now here we are for the rest of the afternoon on this Thursday. So now we're back to our regular scheduled programming. We're probably just gonna play Fortnite for the afternoon. I think we're just gonna stick with Fortnite for the afternoon because I don't know my full plan on things. So I think just sticking with Fortnite is gonna be easy for us to just be like, you know what, that's the tea, that's the shade, that's the good thing. So that's what we're gonna do at least for the rest of today. But we'll hop into a round and just get started. And let's get tapping and sharing, y'all. And we're gonna shout out our first follower as well, who comes in on TikTok, who's gonna be our first one. And hopefully we can slay up those goals as well, because we're not gonna be on tomorrow, y'all. It's gonna be kind of crazy. I had a really great convo with my therapist earlier too today, guys, which I can't wait to talk to you guys about. Brisley, thank you for the follow, I appreciate it. And Cake as well. It's me, Honey Bunch. Queen, we're gonna wear Hades skin. I need to put it on. I want it. This skin we have to wear because obviously, like, we're kind of it kind of helps bring people in. Jaquise, so for this one for a little bit. What are the games you stream? We play Minecraft, although we're on a little little Minecraft I don't know where we're at right now with that. We also play, we've been playing some Bokopia. We do a lot of just chatting as well, but I'm open to all new things. I actually just got in touch with somebody about GTA Roleplay, guys. So GTA Roleplay is happening. Yes, yeah, Lex, that's why. That is something also that we're working on. Oh my God, yes. We're back on there now, Carla, yeah. We will do customs agendas. I really do. I owe you guys customs anyways, but I do want to see if we can slay our goals today. So we may do it like as part of our goals, but we will do at least one custom match because I owe you guys one. But we'll do more than that. Maybe if we can slay things up. And thank you for being here. We're almost to 5 followers as well. Followed, love your vibe. I'm glad you're here, HS Nova. I appreciate it. Wow, could I spell? That's okay, Genesis. So yes, Leo, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Yeah, Green Girly, we'll have to see. But no, I had a great convo with my therapist because you guys, if you weren't here yesterday, I was talking a little bit about yes, fem, about like burnout and me burnout with gaming in general. And so I had a great convo with her today about it and about how I've been feeling about those things. So it was like a really refreshing conversation. So we're gonna start looking into things. I don't know why we're having this issue where my capture card is being weird right now either. That's like a new thing, by the way. So if you're seeing the capture card be weird, I don't know why it's doing that. That's like new as of right now. When it keeps doing like disconnecting and reconnecting. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Whatever. Of course, Oran, yes. Oh dear, yeah, that's new. Yeah, that started happening today. I was like, oh, okay. Really, thank you for the heart, by the way. Harley, they just we were DMing each other about I sent them a DM about GTA Roleplay. Nothing official's happening. This one that I'm wearing is a shop skin. The festival one is lag is gone, by the way. Yeah, I figured that's what it was. Well, I'm glad we fixed it. You know what I mean? Any issues? That's good, Bailey. Yeah, no, I think it's just my capture card's having weird issues today. I don't know. I'm not worrying about it too much. We're just gonna play for a bit and have fun and do our thing, you know? And do our thing. I'm doing good, you boy, Corey. And thank you, Lucas. I appreciate it. Welcome in. But yeah, no, I had a really good combo with my therapist today, so it was really refreshing. It was really refreshing, y'all. It was really lovely. And she kind of was like, we're gonna try some new things, try and find ways to bring passion back into like what we love to do too, and find some new stuff. So it's exciting. It's all to say, it was very exciting. So it was a good thing today. I play more Rivals off stream mostly. I would love to play more on stream though, Lucas, one day. Moonlight, thank you for the follow. Yeah. Have you tried? No, I have not tried karaoke mode. The thing is, there are DMCA rules that I have for purple, so I'd have to figure out how I just check it to make sure I could do it. Did you tell her? I didn't tell her that specifically. No, I just told her about how I've been having basically what I said all live. Yes, I won't go through it again, but like what I said all live yesterday for those who were here for that, with how I've been feeling with gaming in general. This is, yeah. It's been that. Choosing something Rivals. I love that. Rushing home. Oh, that's okay, Dragon. I'm glad you're here. Did you succeed? It's a good one. Yes, the record is in the game. Crazy. And guys, thank you for tapping and sharing that live out. Let's even get to 30 shares and to 15K taps as well. That's what's so fun and hilarious. I'll have to check it out. The record is back. You can buy it at like the rivalry stations. Yes. You can buy it at the rivalry stations. It costs a lot though, so it's kind of like a one-time purchase. You have to do a lot of rivalries to get it. Basically, you have to get like 8 rivalries to get it. Wish I would do that. Not Kylie with the little wing. Okay, Gifty, I see you, baddie. No worries, Rums. Oh my gosh, do what you gotta do, baddie. To get what the record revolver, it's like 8. I think it's 80 credits to get it. 80 credits, isn't it? It is so cute. It is. Thank you. And guys, we're just 8 armies away from the little heart me goal too. Raya, thank you for the heart me. Yeah, thank you guys. We did have to do a little reset, but is the lag gone on TikTok for those who were experiencing the lag? Is the lag gone on TikTok, by the way? Is it back to normal? Thank you, Chloe. Way better. Yes. Okay. Slay. I figured it was because of the thing that was happening, but because I was like, my internet's fine. I was like, I don't know why it's, you know, having an issue, but I'm glad we figured out what it was. Horror games? Wait, I love that. What's your favorite horror game? Ooh, a combat quest. Equip a ranged weapon. I have that. Damage opponents with a rifle. Ooh. Have you ever played Detroit Becomes Human? I have not. I have not. No, can I think for the Sussy Pussy Mints as well? And guys, we're 1 follower away from 5 followers on TikTok. I did like Retro Rewind. I want to play that again, Kels, for sure. Ooh. Wait. Wait, hold on. Oh my God, I'm being cooked. I thought that was a fake person. Got him! I'm better! Except I have the bot still alive. How do I take care of the bot? Girl! How do I take care of the bot? Y'all, the bot! The bot won't die! Damn. The Rock! Girl, she would not die. Hello? Just run. I should have just ran. Guys, not gonna lie, I did kind of cook there. Okay. Until Dawn? Oh, I've heard about Until Dawn. The bald guy. Dwayne The Rock Johnson, I think you mean. I think you mean. I think you mean. Let's play our intro if you're just joining in, by the way, guys.
Bitch, you know I'm
Zefty. Yeah, Phasmophobia is a good one. I like Phasmophobia. Oh my God, she's bald.
ITGIRL.
Well,
You
yes.
know I am that girl. Shh, bitch, don't
Kiss and tell.
It girlfriend ATL.
The Rock. And if you're new here and not following because of that, then I hate to break it to you, but you're homophobic, and that's kind of crazy. You did not miss the customs, Fig. No, I shouldn't have said we're playing customs. The entire stream is going to be people asking for customs. We will be doing customs. We're going to do one later on. I do want to see if we can slay up more of our goals today, but we will be doing customs later on. Yaneko, thank you for the follow. I appreciate, or the sub, I mean, thank you. And Chris, thank you too. Ooh! Ooh, honey. Girl. She tried. Ella, thank you for the finger hearts. I appreciate it. Which goals? Just our daily goals. Our daily goals on the plats. Our daily plat goals. Oh, girl, can I grab this? Hello? There we go. She tried. For margaritas. I love that. Arrow through my heart. I need heals again. Wait, where's the vending machine? I need to leave. I need to leave. I'm actually gonna go over and see if I can get my bot person over there. Yes, Henry, how are you? You guys are doing brain rot stuck in my head since yesterday. I don't play DVD. People have asked me to play it, but I'm scared. How many wins today? 0 wins today. It's been kind of crazy. Panda, thank you for the rose. It's been kind of crazy. But if you're joining in, welcome in. I hope you're having a fabulous afternoon, y'all. Never a limit. Never a limit. That's right. We'll keep going with the shares too. Thank you so much for that one, Kels, by the way. I'm doing good, Kiva. How are you? But yes, I am driving over to see my friend tonight, guys. So we won't have like a super late live, most likely. Where did he go? Where did he go? Hello? Am I blind? Is he dead? Hi, Jax. How are you? Where did he go? Oh, he's in there! Oh my God, I totally missed him. Girl, she thought. Girl, she thought. Uh-huh. You want to try again, queen? Yeah, what is this? Overdrive grenade? I'm not even gonna bother with that. I don't even know what that is. Girl, she thought, honey. Yeah, that was dramatic. And for what she was, I didn't even know she was. You know what though? She's smart. I'll give her that. Hello to Paulette. I'll give her that. She was smart. Okay. I will give her that. Nerdy with the raid. Hi, Raiders. Welcome in. Yes, I'll set a new goal here in a second. Thank you, Raiders, for the raid. How was your stream? Raiders, welcome. We're in the middle of a Fortnite match, but I will do a full little intro here in a second for you. Hi, and how was your guys' stream? Oh, real person. Whoa. Okay, wait. Well, I don't know what he was trying to do there. What do we have here? What is the grapple blade? I'm like confused on all this stuff he has here. What is all of this? What am I looking at? What does the grapple blade do? You're the realist. Love that movement. Is it good? She was tough. Lobby's first. Yeah. Shush, thank you for the sub. Wait, how does this? Okay, spin. Wait, what was that? Girl, what the? Oh my God, there's something on my head. Oh my God, there's a bug on my head. What the heck? Ooh. She's doing a pirouette. Wait.
When I talk to you, oh Cupid walks right through and shoots an arrow through my heart.
Oh, come on, that's too good. Oh, come on, that's too good, y'all. Oh, come on, that's too good. Okay, wait, so how does this work? Attack in air. How do I grapple? How does it, can I use it for movement? Oh, okay. Right click to move with it. Right click to move with it. I'm learning. I see. I do. Okay, I see it gives me like a thing to like grapple onto. I don't know if I love that. Top 5. All right, baddies. Baddies with a fatty. Kaylee with a follow. Guys, we're almost at 10 followers as well. Thank you. Thank you. If you're new here, make sure to say slay in the chat. Guys, we had like an interesting start to stream. We did a takeover on the gaming TikTok live today. So we had to restart the stream. Oh my God, I need to change the goal on TikTok. Hold on. Hopefully I can do that before we die. Let me do that real quick. Hi, the Kool-Aid woman. How are you? And thank you to the new friends joining in. We're so happy to have you. I'm going to go crazy and just set us up with something hard to start with. There we go. For the funsies. Okay. For that, congrats. Yeah. Are you hot? You're sweating? Wait, are you? Oh, I'm sweating in the game. I was like, wait, I don't think I'm sweating. But slay anyways. Yes, you're slay anyways for being new. I'm just glad the lag got fixed for me restarting. Emily, thank you for the first hand heart. Okay. I kind of hate this. Sorry, I'm like trying to like figure out how to use this. Oh. Panda, thank you as well. I guess it's not too bad. And Jags, look at you guys. It's making me a little confused though. I'm a little confused by it. I don't know if I love that. I'll be real. I don't know if that eats the way I want it to. Nayla, thank you as well. Oh, is there somebody over there? Wait. I kind of want to stay here for right now. Hi, how are you? It's good to see you. Wait, am I pronouncing your name right? I want to make sure I am. Is it Baba or Boba? Am I pronouncing that right? See, now I feel nervous. I'm like, am I saying it right or wrong? The skin is so good though. I will say, guys, her new dress, not so hot. Her new dress, not so good. It's way too flowy. Ooh. It's so, like, it's huge. It's actually kind of crazy how huge it is. Oh my God, hello. Hi, Haley, how are you? I mean, yes, I know that's Boba. I'm talking about Boba, who is a content creator. I want to make sure I'm pronouncing his name correctly. No, because 4 days of work, they really do. Okay, Patty. I love that. I love that. Evan, thank you for the hand heart. And Ella, thank you for the hand heart too. I'm doing good, Evan. Thank you. Girl, I see people over there. I'm kind of being a little camping shit right now. Rowan, I have been working out. Yes. Caitlin, thank you for the hand heart. Can you do a spin for luck? Yeah, wait, is it? Wait, am I doing it right? It's, girl, that's funny as shit. Girl, that's funny as shit. Come on now. Girl, what is that? Please, please, please. I do, Miss Miz, yeah. Yeah, Pit season finale tonight. Oh my God. I cannot be sober for it. Just kidding, I will be, but. All right, I'm done like waiting here. Trying to find where people are. I don't often play Reload, Bristly. Not that I'm opposed to it, but it's not my big thing. Not a big thing. Also, guys, thank you so much. We did, if you're like, wait, what's been going on with the live today? We had some weird things where we took over the TikTok gaming official account for an hour. So that's why we were not live on Purple or on TikTok till later. And then I had to reset the live on TikTok. So now we're live on both platforms. Now we're getting started. I know a lot of our lurkers are hanging. Dr. Pepper, thank you for the follow. But that's been the tea, that's been the shade today. That's been the tea, that's been the shade today. It was kind of fun though. I had a good time. We did which one? We took over the official TikTok Gaming Live account. V. Ravi, thank you for the follow too. In my lurker, you are Ross. Good night, Saldana. Thank you. It was fun. It was cute. I was like, guys, can I say I suck dad's dicks for fun on there? Or do you think I'll get in trouble? Or do you think I'll get in trouble? So I had to like, I was trying to not, I was like, maybe I'll keep it semi-PG. Maybe I'll keep it semi-PG. Girl, I'm out of range. Hi, Zero. How are you? Tone it, yeah, I toned it down just a little bit, you know. Nothing too crazy. But just a skosh. Most PG I've ever seen, yeah. Yeah, I definitely was like, okay, we're gonna do, I'm just doing, you know, when I say a swear word, I'm saying like I'm using my bleep. Hi, Moses. Oh, I'm sure, Harley. I mean, there's a lot of, basically all day today, it's Gaming Live Pro folks taking it over. Hetero friendly, yeah. Truly. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Listen, they know my live content, okay? Had car problems today. Oh, girl, I'd throw up. How do you have the beep so well? It's a button. And I actually don't say the word. I just mouth it. So I say... Okay, I know, Will Jinkies. I want to play Tomodachi Life so bad, but girl, a bitch is broke, and I'm going to a Pokemon card show on Saturday. So baddies, how about this? If we slay the goal, I don't know why my capture card is being weird today. Hello? We'll do the Tomodachi Life. Well, I'll buy it, all right? But we got to slay our goals today on both platforms, okay? Because I am going to a Pokemon card show on Saturday, so... What are we chasing? I'm not chasing anything. I have a lot of stuff to sell or trade. I really want more. Actually, I lied. I do have some chases. I really want more of the Ascended Heroes. Oh my God, what is the art style? The one that I was talking about yesterday. What is the actual term for it? Has the Japanese lettering on it, and it's like a really bright, colorful. Those cards, I have a few of them. I have like the Gardevoir, I have Lucario, I have Electros, and I have Dragonite, but I want the rest of them. Some of them are really expensive, but. I have an axe, Brandon? Oh no. Oh, EX, yeah. Oh, did you play the new Overwatch character? The cat? Yes. So those are kind of my chase cards right now, I guess. Those are kind of my chase cards right now. Mega Evolutions. They are Mega Evolutions, but the design of the card looks very different. Krusty Cum Sock. Thank you for the follow. Well, ooh, we have something in the bush here. on. Girl, where is she? Oh my god, it's a fucking me. And I got one shot with a Miku. Oh, the Miku. I hate them. I hate Mikus. I hope they die. I truly hope they never find joy in their life. I hope a Miku never finds joy in their life. If you play and wear the Miku skin, you are dead to me, okay? If you wear a Miku skin in this chat right now, I hope you never find joy. Okay? I hope your pillow is always warm. I hope your hand is always dry when you go to have fun. And I hope it's miserable. Yes, she's the music pass. She's the music pass with Jinkies. Hi, bestie, I am. Mikus are just too much for me. Not me and the Miku skin. And you better change. Right now. Yeah, she's the music pass, y'all. So I didn't get to look at the past. Let's look at it. Look at her. Look at her. I feel partially responsible for that death. Krusty Comstock, I won't lie. You did kind of throw me off my game a little bit. Okay, you did kind of throw me off my game a little bit. I'm just thinking for the hand heart. There's a the fact that also we have Olivia Dean. Come on now. Come on now. Her other dress, did you guys see her other dress yet or not? Did you guys see her other dress, by the way? Her other dress is insane. Oh, this one, the gold dress is beautiful. But did you guys see how crazy the other dress looks in game? I'll put it on to show you guys because it's the mechanics of it are so bad. It's Luffy. She's a music artist. So this, if you know this song. When I talk to you, oh Cupid walks right through and shoots on the That's her. That's her. That's her. Yeah, watch me play the game, guys, with this dress. You guys are gonna lose your freaking marbles. You'd be like, what the hell? She's so cute. Yeah. I've decided, yes, I know. Everybody and their mother's been saying me to say Leve. I get it, I get it, I get it. My God. God. Yes, yes, I know. Christ almighty. Ugh. Let's see. Let's see how many of you are following who are correcting me, by the way. Not following me, but correcting me. Bye. Scroll on. Abby, thank you for the follow. Not you, though. Hey, the other one. The other one. Clog RT then, I guess. Oh. I talked to her. We should have listened. Yeah, but look at this. Look at the slide, guys. Look at the slide. Like, look at how crazy the dress is. Now, it's awful to fight in. Like, when you're doing a 1v1, guys, it's not good. It's not good because you cannot see anything. Like, you literally cannot see anything. It blocks my view so... we lost so many fights when we started playing with it at the start of stream. Like, terribly. It looks cute like a flower. I love the dress. I'm also like, damn girl, we're just getting a full shot there. Yeah, the upskirting is crazy. The upskirting is wild. I was like, okay, girl. The upskirting is wild. Okay, somebody's nearby here. Hold on, let me. Girl, I can't see. You can't see. Look at the dress, y'all. It's crazy. They tried. No safety shorts or nothing. Cheeks galore. No, not a thing. Guys, thank you for the gifties. I appreciate the follows. I commend Rick for trying. Yeah, you should.
The origin. Status?
Like, look at the slide, y'all. It's crazy. Yeah, you cannot hide it.
We're going to win this. See you on the other side.
I love her, though. Literally, I listen to her music every day. I do, Jaden, yes.
We can't do this without him. But we will. We have to.
I wonder if on performance mode it makes the dress not go crazy. I wonder if on performance mode it makes the dress not look like it's absolutely insane. Like the dress is a little too much. It would be so stiff. I know. Like it needs like a happy medium where like it's not so crazy. You know what I mean? Like you really can't see what's going on. Yeah, they really need to figure out long dresses in this game. They do. That is one thing they struggle with, you know. One thing they struggle with is long dresses in this game. I'll be real. I'll be so real with you. Like, girl, like, see how I couldn't even... Did you see how, like, when I was jumping there, I couldn't see her? Like, my eyes were blocked. Thank God I can aim. But, like, my God. Imagine it, like, literally, I'm like, oh. Like, holy cow. It's so funny, though. Would you ever go to Coachella? Nah. There are several reasons why I want to go to Coachella. The first one being, there is not enough money in the world where you could pay me to be in the desert for a weekend for no, and also the way it just like flashes up is crazy for fun. Like there's no. And then the second is I do not support Israel, and Coachella is like, hey Israel. So, you know. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm good. If I can actively choose to not do something, I'm good, you know? I'm doing good, Mango. How are you? Oh, not paying attention. See, I can't see. I was trying to do a shot. I couldn't see. They got us a bot. You literally cannot see. You literally cannot see with the dress. You cannot see with the dress. Thank God it was a bot. Oh my God, that's so funny. Like, girl, don't even try. Yeah, they do. She's so cute. She is so cute. No, I'll be real. I'm not a huge, like, music fest. Like, if I wanted to go see somebody, I would just go to their concert, I think. I just have no, like, desire to spend several days with people. And I know you're waiting in line for hours to see someone. You know what I mean? Mary, thank you for the follow. Like, any of them. I don't know. I'm also not a huge concert person. I'll be real. I'm not a huge concert person. Yeah, we're showing it again though, Allie, just to show folks what it looks like. I'm not a huge concert person in general, I think. Girl, look at that slide. Did you see that right there? That was crazy. Haha, look at the slide. Oh, that's bad. Come on. You can't tell me that's good. Look at the slide there. You can't tell me that's good. The dress is crazy. Oh no, honey. That's bad. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. Do I have enough for the record? No. Who's your favorite artist? I love Adele. Adele's one of my top favorites, I think. Yeah. They were. Oh, that wasn't my. I thought that was my right. Girl, let me out. No, purple shockwaves are not back. I don't think so. Did I miss them somewhere? That's mother. Okay, where's my guy? Where's my guy? Where is he? Hello? What shockwaves are you guys talking about? I have not seen them at all. I don't see regular ass shockwaves in the game. I have not had a single shockwave today, so. I've had the blue shockwaves. I have not had any normal ones. The purple ones, I have not seen a single one today. They were out but are vaulted again. Marisol, oh, so they're not in the game anymore. Marisol is the person that I know knows everything about Fortnite. Marisol said they were out, but they got vaulted once again. So they are no longer in the game anymore. They were for a brief moment, though. It's true. Okay. We're gonna jump on the water? Yeah, man, that's me. You have a favorite song from Adele? I Drink Wine. Her newest album, I Drink Wine, is my favorite. I feel like didn't they do that before, where they literally had the shocks out and then they took them away? I can't. It's so bad, Lucas. Like, didn't they literally have that in game already? Didn't that happen like a couple last season? Didn't that already happen? Yeah, it was a mistake. Yeah, I was like, didn't that already happen? Oh my god, we have the penis. Oh my god, guys, we got the dick. Well, we do. It's flaccid. It's back again. What? Look at it. You tell me what. You tell me what. Hey, Queen. Hello. It looks like he uses tissue floating around. That's how most of them look, to be honest. To be honest, that's how most of them do look. I won't lie. I won't lie. That is how most of them look. I'm screaming. Wow. Wow. Sorry, I had a message, y'all. No, this skirt on this kid is kind of crazy. Ooh, hold on. Oh, she's in the air. Girl, I can't see. Oh my god, how did she get over there so quick? Is she in there? She's in there. I'm waiting. Straight up Alphaba. She said, honey, we're in. No, Megan, I didn't. Oh, and now I'm getting shot at. Oh, wait, she's over there now? Girl, how did she do that? How did she get across? I didn't even notice her. He went out. Oh, he's over there. Should I try and push in? I don't know. I always get nervous to push sometimes. Hi, Casey. And Betty's, we do have our daily goals on both platforms. I do want to see if we can slay them up today because we aren't going to be live tomorrow. I am taking a little day off tomorrow, y'all. Just to let you guys know. So let's see if we can cook them up. I missed it completely. Where is she? Oh my god, she leave again? She must have left again. Where'd she go? Okay, she's gone. She's gone. She left. She's not there anymore. You guys know things better than I do. And I'm playing the game. My god. The dress is so much. Oh, poo. Oh my god. Guys, thank you for the gifts. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. The dress is kind of insane. It's like wild. Oop. What are we doing over there? I missed. Oh, I almost died there. That was close. That was close. I almost died there. Those look so good. I know. It's kind of distracting. I'm not going to lie. It is very distracting. Rest on or off? Yeah. Yeah, this is the past. This is the past one. Matthew, I did get the pass. If you're like, wait, did he get the pass? I did get the pass. I did. I did get the pass. My new rule. Oh, Jesus. My new rule for myself is if it's something I really want, I will get. And if it's something I don't want at all, or I'm buying it to buy it, I'm not getting anything from the shop anymore. So, Love or Luffy is one of my favorite. Oh, I'm dead. My favorite favorite singers and artists. So I did kind of want this one. I might be dead here, guys. I have no health. I may be cooked on this one. I'm gonna run. Hi, TV. I missed your message, whatever it was. It got filtered, baddie. It got filtered, baddie. Oh, I need greens. Guys, I need green so bad. Yeah, the crew stuff did carry over. Yeah, it did. Yeah, the dress is crazy. Yeah, it carried over before I canceled. I ended up getting the thing there. Eat your fish for real? I don't have a fish. What are you talking about? Oh, my fish. I was like, wait, what are you talking about, fish? Yeah, but there was also somebody in that shack, Jackson. There was a person in the shack. That's why I ran. There was somebody in the shack there, like waiting. Aha, greens. There we go. Mushrooms only hit blue, yeah. Yerp. Yeah, the skirt's a little crazy. I was like, okay. I also did get her other skin version as well. I did get both. Like, I love the dress. I think it's beautiful. I just think that the physics of it are wild. You know what I mean? Like, the physics on it are crazy. Yeah. Hi, Thrillin. How are you? Mr. Gregos with the raid. Hello. Hi, baddies. Oh my God, we have an ad break coming up too. I'm so sorry, y'all. Welcome in. How are you? Oh, welcome in, welcome in. You guys are having a good day and a good stream. No, almost said. Marlene, thank you for the follow. Hi, Rocket. I don't think so, Jen. I just think it's so flowy and crazy. Been a heck of a day. Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. We had a cool TikTok takeover today on the official TikTok gaming channel. I am mad, yes. And then from there, now we're going live on our regular stuff for the day. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Kind of cool. Oh, thank you, Marlene. Okay, top 5, y'all. Let me try and lock in a little bit here for us here. Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's just very distracting. And then I get, oh my God. I'm going the wrong way too. Yeah, the thing is, it's just really distracting in game. Unfortunately. What a few, yeah. Okay. 3 people left, y'all. Had it recently, yeah. Oh, I did not mean to fall. Sure, one of the mods could do 1 Queen, yeah. Yeah, I kind of wish the short dress was the one that you got too. Oh my God, my glasses are all foggy. Hold on. Is it just, I think it's just performance mode, right? But I feel like somebody's in here. Could you imagine if somebody was hiding in here? What's the way to fix it? I buy direct or from my glasses or from. Okay, Mallard. Okay, there's 2 people left, but I don't know where they are. No one knows that singer. King Von, you don't know that singer, but she's one of the most critically acclaimed singers right now, and her music is constantly in the top charts. The funny thing to me is that people always think no one knows that singer, and it's because you're gay. Oh, there it is. Oh, you said goy. Yeah, I'm goy. There it is. Shockingly, King Von, and to many, the world does not revolve around you. And actually, there are people who listen to other things and enjoy other things outside of what you enjoy. So she has millions of people who love her and want and listen to her. You're just not one of them. You know? And it's not because I'm gay, it's because she's talented. Typical, yeah. Well, it's not because I'm gay, it's because she's talented and has great music and musicianship. Danielle, yours doesn't? I wish mine didn't. She's literally one of my favorite. I think she's one of the best music artists of the 21st. She's on my top like 5 of the 21st century for me. I love her. Where is everybody? I know the view's crazy. Like, this doesn't flow like yours. I wish I could actually turn off the flow. The flow's a little wild. And guys, we're 10 hands away from the hand Torkoal. Playing that up. I'm trying to clock where everybody else is, but I don't know where they are. There's 2 other people left, and I want them to start initiating the fight. We did it earlier, yeah. Like the dance, yeah. Like this song. I mean, this is one. Well, I'm not gonna play the song yet. Let me lock in. I'll play the song. Like, where is everybody? I want them to. I need to start seeing some gunfights, you know, so I can go over there. I don't have a self-revive, no. Good zone for that dress, yeah. And we thank you for the heart me and Brooklyn. Thank you for the follow. And guys, think we start slaying the sub goal on purple today too. Don't forget, if you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe for free.com. Okay. Something's going on over there. I'm pushing over. I hear something. Girl. Shit. I don't want to be the person that gets, I don't want to be the third partied. You know what I mean? Like, I need somebody else to push him up. Okay, I got 2 on me here. This is not good. Fuck, I knew it was gonna happen. I fucking knew it. I knew it was gonna happen. I knew it was gonna happen, y'all. I knew it. I shouldn't, and I knew they were never gonna fight each other either. Every damn time, the third parties, I can't do it anymore on this game. It's the stupid ass third parties. I know, they always, it's like every damn time. I knew it was gonna happen. I should have maybe bubbled, I guess. I should have bubbled, but I didn't bubble. That's okay. Jackson, thank you for the heart me. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. All right, y'all. Let's keep slaying though. I want to see it. We got a ways to go for the goals. We are like way behind today, so we got to like catch up a little bit. You think we can do it, y'all? Think we can do it? Especially because we won't be live tomorrow or Saturday. See if we can really cook her up for the afternoon. For the afternoon. That picture was, yeah, I was gonna rift, but then I was like, I saw her and I was like, okay, I have 2 options here. I'm either going to get shot out of the sky or I'm gonna have to pick that fight, you know? Gabby and Jackson with those hand hearts. Oh my God. Hello. Thank you, Batty. Thank you, Batty. We go again, yes. And I don't know why my capture card is doing this. I'm sorry, y'all, with the flickering. The flickering's so annoying. Thank you, Gabby. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. O-G-O. You can take me hot to go. Man, thank you for the hitter too. Thank you, y'all. Slaying her up, honey. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys are having a fabulous day, by the way. Alina, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Do you have a sister? No. Or not a biological sister. I have step siblings. I have step siblings, though. I do have step siblings. But I only have one biological brother. Spellman, thank you for the 100 biddies.
Absolutely
Jackson
not.
said, let's finish out that as well. Oh,
Why would you even ask me that question?
Let me set a new goal. Oh, you guys ate. You guys ate. Should we do bigger or smaller goal, y'all? Let's do, we'll do hat and mustaches. There we go. There we go for the fun. His name is Vinny, my twin. You can take me hot to go. Yeah, it's kind of wild. So wait, is there a way that I can change the physics of the dress? I'm actually wondering if it's like an edit style or something where it's not as flowy. Because it is beautiful, but the flow is kind of crazy. Like I want to keep wearing this dress, but it is kind of like the flow is absolutely insane on it. I'm on PC, Jackson. Because some people said they were able to like get it to not be crazy. No, I mean, I haven't yet. Mad, thank you for the hat and mustache, and Plant Lady as well, getting that one going. Thank you, guys. I know performance. I just hate how performance mode looks. It looks so bad. If I could just do performance mode for the skin, I would. But it's so nasty. It's so nasty. Yeah, it's actually insane. The slide, like, guys, the dress is crazy. Like, look how wild that looks. Like, the dress is wild. It's funny, but it's absolutely, and it gets in the way. I'm not gonna lie, it does get in the way. Like, there were several fights that I almost lost that last round because I couldn't see. Hello? Wait, can I? Girl, I can't see what's going on here. How did I lose? How did I lose? How did I lose that? How did I fucking lose that? I don't even know. Shayla, leave with a follow. Okay, wait, so if I go to the locker. Ty, you're blocked. Bye. Hi, why are you using capture card if you are PC? Because I have two computers. I have two computers, Anna. So the computer I game on has a capture card, and then the computer that I stream from. I have two computers. Okay, let me see. Can I edit this? No, see, there's no edit style there. Room so gorgeous. Thank you. Yeah, the skin's just kind of crazy. Her dress is tea, though. To pick up your plate, no, T-Lin. I'm not. I'm gonna be the opposite way. Not being unnecessarily kind. Yeah, I blocked her. Girl, ain't nobody got time for that. Out she goes. Take out the trash, honey. Thank you. Yeah, I love the dress, but it's so flowy. The Elgato capture card, yeah. Did you really? Oh yeah, of course I did. Honey, nobody stays around here that I don't want in this place. Absolutely not. I block like there's no tomorrow. We block at least 30 people a day. We did already, Che. We did it earlier. We did it earlier. Jackson just sent a whale diving. Are you kidding me?
Baby, I shake that
I do try and yeah.
I shake that ice. Shake that ice.
So here, I'll take a picture.
Shake that ice. I shake that ice. Shake that ice. Shake that.
If you can see, this is literally just from right now. I have two PCs. I have one on one side and one on the other. I have two computers. So one I stream from and one I game from. It helps the load on my hard drive on my PC so that I'm not lagging 24/7. Lag 24/7. Guys, thank you so much for that. Well, I mean, that's crazy. And thank you for that hat and mustache. Wow, that was such a huge gift. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Emmy. It was a fair, yeah. I will say I love having are there drops on? I have no idea. I love having like a white keyboard and white mouse, although it gets dirty so easy. Mad. That's the only issue. Bum bum. I was just joking. I don't know who you are. Guess who just worked 11 hours with no lunch? Happy Thursday, Wednesday. I love that, Caroline. Def Not Savvy, guys. Thank you for the gifties. Thank you for the hat and mustache. Thank you, guys. And I'm sorry. Please tell me you got food, Caroline. Please tell me you got food. Yeah. See, I don't know why my capture card's doing this. It's like going. It's like flickering. You look, it sounds so familiar. I don't know. Dual sub easy to do? Yes, for the most part. T-Lin!
Baby, I shake that ice.
With 5 gifted subs. Oh, baddie.
Shake that ice. I shake that ice.
Well, yes.
Shake that ice.
I Drink death. Wow. Actually, Tyler Oakley is a like hunk now, Jay. Oh my God, there's way too many people landing here. I don't like that at all. Watch me die right now, guys. Guys, let's see how fast I die. Guys, call it. How fast am I gonna go? How fast am I gonna go? Call it, y'all. Call it, y'all. Hello? Oh! Wow. Wow. We ate that. 15. Well. Who's your celeb crush at the moment? Honestly, even though his acting was ass in it, seeing Jacob Elordi again in Euphoria made my groin twitch. Not gonna lie. So right now it's that. Alex, thank you for the follow. Well. No, not Harry Styles. Sorry. Harry Styles looks like a homeless. Like, he looks horrifying. The man has not. The man looks like he smells like patchouli and showers once a week. Please, get out of here with that. He looks like he smells like patchouli. Okay. I can't. What's wrong with patchouli? We all know what's wrong with it, okay? It cannot cover up your stench well enough. All right? I know too many men who say, I'm going to wear patchouli, and then they think that's enough and they don't have to shower for 8 weeks. No, no, no. Nasties. I know exactly what you're saying, okay? Wait, how do I get up here? Is it a vibe? How wide is it? It's a vibe, but it's also impossible to see what's going on. Thoughts on Euphoria so far? Kind of meh. Kind of meh right now. Kind of meh. Not gonna lie. Not a super big fan. Amanda, thank you for the heartbeat. Wait, I miss hat and mustache. Steph not Sammy, thank you as well. Oh my God, thank you guys for those there. It's very distracting. Oh yeah, her dress gets super in the way. Yeah, it doesn't feel like Euphoria at all. I'll be real. Can I take them out for here? Hi, Meg. How are you? Jonathan, thank you for the follow. Is it glitching out? No, that's okay, Brooklyn. I'm sorry I was glitching for you. I'm sorry I was glitching. Yeah, the dress is just not good. Let's wait for it. Yeah. Louise, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Like, it just is not. Like, it's really cute, but the issue is the flow mechanics when she slides. It's, like, impossible. And also, when you... So, say I'm jumping down. Like, say somebody's below me, right? And I'm going down to get her. It blocks the view. It blocks the view of them. And I'm like, okay, that's not what I want. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's like, actually, problem. It's a parachute. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. We may, Ash. I plan to. I know I shouldn't have said that we would because now I've had 14 people ask if we're doing them today, which makes me not want to do them. But we are going to do them, yes, because I owe them. Lex, I have to put on performance mode. Oh, sorry. You're okay, Ash. It was really great. That second thing was really great, actually. It was really great. It was a lot of fun. Ethan, thank you for that. It's corn. And I'm just thinking for that mustache. Wait, I missed that. Thank you. Thank you. From a distance of this kid, she looks crazy. I'm going to probably put on the other one here in a little bit, but it's not too bad. Shelly, thank you for the heartbeat. It's not too bad. Hi, I heard Jay. How are you? It's just, I don't know. I don't love it.
I want to thank All the evil gays.
Jupiter.
You know, I just really.
Let's see it. How many? I need to check to see. We're definitely like close to 150. I think Green and I. We're close to 150 for sure. Have I not found a shotgun yet? We're close to 150 rivalry wins. I think we might be at like 140, maybe. Maybe a little less than that. I don't know. Oh my god, can I get a shot? I mean, I guess I'll take these for now. Would love a shotgun though. Do they have a shotgun? He's over there. Oh my god. Push me if you're gonna push me, boy. Dude, what is he doing? Did he run? He ran. Girl, I can't see a damn thing. Girl, I can't see a damn thing underneath this dress. My God. It just flows up. Like, girl, the slide is crazy. The slide is insane, y'all. The slide is quite literally insane. It's like insane. Like, look at her. I hope they fix the dress mechanics. It's the same one with the Wednesday dress too, I think, right? It's a glider at this point. Really, Ash? Ooh, I didn't know you could see mine. That's slay. Okay, 163. I'll take that. So we're over 150. Oh my god. Fuck! Oh my god, I was not paying attention. I was not. Girl, where did he even come from? I swear, yeah, they gotta fix that bad. They gotta fix that bad, honey. They gotta, you know. Guys, if you are new here, let's do my introduction and play that here for a second to say hello. I'll tell you who I am. I am your zesty bestie, and this is...
It's Britney, bitch.
You think I'm in love. Help! Welcome in. Welcome in. Blame the dress for blocking the view. You better believe I did, Meg, because I can't see a damn thing. Okay. Hi, Jack. How are you? Yeah, the stipend was kind of crazy. Bye, Green LA. See you later. Guys, thank you for the gifties. Welcome in. Thank you for the cutest bow, Jupiter. I just saw that. Thank you. I appreciate it. We are starting to cook, y'all. We are starting to get cooking, y'all. So thank you. The skin, it's Luffy skin. It's from the Music Pass. So this is the Music Pass skin that comes with her, and then the other one I didn't buy the bundle because I don't really need the bundle. I need to get the Lover Girl emote though. Love stuck girl, I tease her. And then there's Tough Luck too. One of my favorite songs. Although I hate this emote. Sorry, this emote's awful. Look at this emote, guys. This emote is so bad. Girl, what am I watching? Girl, I love this song, but what is this even? I just wish that it wasn't so flowy. Like this flow is crazy. This flow is crazy. Meg, thank you for the Harmony Haley. Guys, thank you for the gifties. We're saying and oh my God, Moon Baby said, let's get going with the hat mustache goal too. Is that skin hard to play with? Yeah, I will say it is getting kind of side by side of her dancers on tour with this emote, and it's the same. Is it really? God, that's such a weird dance for that. I just saw that. Yeah, I could put on performance mode, but it's so ugly. It's so ugly. Performance was so ugly. Jackson, you stop it. Guys, Jackson's cooking today. Ava, thank you for the follow. And Andy, thank you for the heart meat. Like performance mode basically makes it so that it turns graphics down like crazy. So it makes the game so ugly for me, which is I hate personally. So it'll definitely make it so that it won't be as flowy, but also the graphics will look like ass in game. And I hate that. I'm not a fan. Guys, so cute. Yeah, I think it matches her really well. Best for mother, literally George. Trade that for that. Hi, bestie. Hi, Mare. How are you? Yeah, it's in the way terribly. Hello, beauty. Hi, Athena. No, I'm hoping we do the custom game. We have a lot on the goal. I don't know. Oh, yeah, I gotta do it. I wish I didn't say we were doing the customs again today. I wish we didn't say we were gonna do it twice today, because now it's like I don't want to do them at all. Oh, come on, girl. Fuck, where is she? Oh my God! Oh my God! Okay, I gotta change the dress, guys. I can't see over the dress. I quite literally cannot see over the dress. I literally can't see the dress. It covers half the screen. It literally covers half the screen. The dress messed me up so bad. Force mode, it just looks so ugly. Force mode is so ugly. I hate it. Feel like it? No, we'll do the customs. We will. I promise we would do them, so we will do them. I like the black dress. I think the black dress is cuter too. It's giving Wednesday Anthem. Yes, it is giving Wednesday. I think it's cuter. I just hate that. I wish they could just change it so you should have an edit option for the dresses to turn those onto performance mode or to make them stiff. You know what I mean? Bello. Hi, Def Muffin. No, we'll do the customs. We will. Ada, it should refresh, I think. I don't know though. It's ready to wear cape skins. Yeah, it's just too much in the way. Yes, it won't be for a little bit because what time is it right now? 5:30. We'll see if we can cook up the goals though for it a little bit too. We'll do that too maybe. When's a little more tighter? Yeah, but doesn't hers spread out and flow too though? Isn't hers one of the ones that's wild? Matt, thank you for the roses. Isn't Wednesday's one that goes meh as well? Thank you for the rose. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Goes how now? Come on now. Maya, thank you for the follow. So the graphics not it. Yeah, that's fair. Basically, her dress does the exact same things that Lofty's does, I think. The one that I was wearing before. This one is much better. This one has no, you can actually see what's going on. Oh my God. Why are there ugh. A million people already. I love her music. I literally listen to her music like when I'm getting ready in the morning for the day. Like I actively listen to her every day. Did that have no weapon? That's kind of weird. She's someone I actually listen to daily, which is so funny. Hold on. Okay. Girl. We're playing fucking peekaboo here? I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna fucking throw up, dude. I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna throw up. Because how on God's green earth do I hit a headshot and they don't die? But someone hits one headshot on me and I die immediately. Oh my God. I'm so over it. I'm so over it. Ugh. Guys, thank you for the follows. Like, how do they not? I feel like every time I go to fight somebody, they have a million health. And I'm like, how is this possible? But I get one shot. Jordan, chill out. No, the only thing I'm going to do is chill out on your dad's dick tonight and bounce up and down for several hours on it. That's what I'm gonna chill out on tonight, okay? Yeah. Yeah. And also, have your mama teach you never to tell somebody to calm down, okay? The one thing that you get, one thing you do. That's why I love you. So zen over here. Hey, yo. Bailey with the follow styles. Guys, thank you for the follows. I appreciate it. Maggie, with the follow too. Calm down is degrading. It is one of the most degrading things you can tell somebody. I truly believe telling somebody to calm down is like one of the most rude and degrading things you can do, you know? I actually really do, but that is actually one of my like things that I love. It's so invalidating. It's so invalidating. Shut your bitch ass up. No, my bitch ass flaps for your dad every night. Like, what do you want me to say here? That's never for punishment. Hi, Zesty Bestie. Oh, thank you, Symphony. Appreciate it. Oh, she's caked up. To watch you, Maggie. I love that. Oh, it's the same kid. It's just a kid. It's like, it is my #1 pet peeve. Like, when someone is experiencing an emotion, telling them to calm down is like insane, you know? You know what I mean? It's like crazy. Selena's deleting. Calm down as we speak. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, me too. That and being called Bud and Bro.
Guess what? I'm freaking it. I took her to my penthouse and I just freaked it by myself.
That and being called Bud or Bro immediately, sets me right off. Those are my 2 biggest pet peeves. Like immediately. Alien, thank you for gifting us subs. You're at 101 gifted. You're crazy. May I don't mind so much because I don't, maybe because it's, I guess here in the for me in New York it's not crazy, you know. I just get often like Nate or Champ or anything. But the one thing I hate is when someone's like, okay, Bud, I'm like, I will literally, like, you're bringing a knife to a gunfight, okay? I will take you up back and we will end this. All right. Mello, thank you for the follow. Hi, David. Like, truly. I am having a good Thursday. Sorry about that. Hi, Squishims. Yeah, the old bunch. It's usually straight men that are like, Bud, you know what I mean? And it's when they say it in a like when somebody's like, hey, Bud, how's it going? Like, that doesn't bother me. Alien, thank you for the sub gifting to Squishims. Oh my gosh. But when somebody is like Bud in a way that is you know, like the negative connotation of it. You know what I mean? Where it's like they're like being a dick about it. They're like, okay, bud. Like that immediately makes me go like, I'm going to end it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? My settings, that's so annoying. Like that's where I go crazy. You know, Chelsea with a follow. I'll be thinking with the roses. Guys, thank you. Slaying up the goals. We're almost halfway with the sub goal on purple now. Thank you, thank you. Insert eye roll. Yeah. Oh, it's like, yeah, I'll show you, bud. Hi, Colette, how are you? It's like, I'll show you, baby. Try it again. Oh my God, I'm stuck. Wait, do I have enough rivalry points? Hold on. Oh, it's not here. I gotta wait. I gotta find it somewhere else. I gotta find it somewhere else. I need the Wrecker Revolver. Thanks, WM. And Ginking of Hearts and Orion, Raven, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Oh, always. Trent, I haven't seen any of the upcoming ones. I've been kind of avoiding looking at the shop because I'm trying not to spend money on it because I don't love the new things that have been going on recently with Epic Games and stuff. I don't do ads. I'm so sorry, friend, just because otherwise I'd have a ton. Usually when we do viewer games, if we do them, I will add folks if you get picked and stuff. But yeah. Can you part? Thank you for the sub with Pride. Wait, welcome in as well. Wait, sub right away. Thank you. It's so kind of you. Thank you so much. My friend, thank you. Okay, stand for that. Okay, stand for that. Misa, thank you for the harmonies, by the way. I saw that there. And PG, thank you for the follow too. But yes, guys, if you didn't know, tomorrow we are not going to be live. Announcement, baddies. If you did not hear earlier, we are not going to be live tomorrow. I am going on a little 2-day excursion with friends and being a human being for a little bit, I think. So I'm going to visit a friend and then we're going to a Pokemon card show on Saturday. So I decided to take tomorrow off fully from stream. Cruising, no. So we will not be live tomorrow. As a friend, literally just like a friend and my aunt. Like it's not like it's literally like a friend. No, I'm just driving an hour and a half, just about. Girl. Nothing really specific, I don't think. Is Biblical Green, and I do it again. And I do it again. Take me with you. Yeah, I'm gonna record some stuff at the card show for sure. Broth, I'm like, should I spend the money? I'm trying to decide if I spend the money or not. On it. I like it, Christy. It's fun. Would you ever do vlogs? I would. Oh, I never do, Maggie. I never do. I only do if I'm in like a moment of stress and I need to, you know? Anything for the heart me, by the way? This is the new Laufey skin or LaVey skin. Wait, that's so cute, Marijuana. I love that. And Emily, thank you for the follow too. Oh my gosh, cracked my neck. So yeah, today's stream, guys, is going to be a little bit not shorter than usual, but obviously we started late because we did the takeover of the channel on TikTok. So it's going to be a little different today. You might know some of music, like this song, for example.
When I talk to you, oh Cupid walks right through and shoots an arrow through my heart.
Oh, welcome over here. That's her. That's one of her songs. Thank you for the Zesty Mints. Yeah, let me know what you think of it, Broth. I'm curious. Ruthless, one day. Oh, am I getting shot at? Alien gifting another sub. Alien! Almost getting halfway. Thank you. You know, in the dating scene? Not really. Not really. Not really. I may have somebody possibly coming over to hang out tonight. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I haven't decided, though. We'll see. I'm trying to be more social. Okay. I do the rivalries, yes. Because there's so many good things you can get. Hi, Desiree. Who's yours do you recognize? Yes, they came in and were like, oh my God, it was me. I like Perfect Order, actually, Mayor. Although I'm not getting what I need from it. Hang out, well, you know. What's your favorite loadout? Honestly, I do love the Thunderburst, and I do love the pump shotgun. Those are the two I think I carry the most right now. Really. But I like Perfect Order. Yeah, at this point, I'm at the point where I've opened so many packs, I'm like, I should just buy the Meowth card. Like, if I see the Meowth card this weekend at the card show, I might just get it. You know what I mean? Dance. Wait, I've never said. Wait, is this new? Why have I not actually done that before? Does that do something? What does that do? I love it, but hate it, Brooklyn. No, it's been there. W card show. Nothing in particular, Lizard. Nothing in particular. Does it kill me? Yeah. Liar. Yeah, fuck. I knew it. I knew it. I knew because none of you said a goddamn word that it killed me. I knew because none of you said a word in the chat. I was like, yeah, this is gonna kill me, isn't it? The fact, because nobody said a word, I was like, yeah, I know exactly what's gonna happen here. I said it would. Maybe it didn't come through. I did dance. Oh, was it because I wasn't dancing? Thank you, Danimals. I'm watching some of these named Merc with the Mouth. Alien's just gifting one sub after another. Alien, thank you. We're now halfway with the sub goal. Okay, baddie.
Have you ever tried this one?
We're halfway on purple, y'all. Thank you. You make me Juno. I love it. I love it. Should I get Chipotle or Popeyes? Chipotle. Oh, I was supposed to emote. That's why. Okay. And we're almost halfway on TikTok, too. Well, Dancer else sort of sums it up. I guess that was my own fault. I guess that was my own fault. Sorry, 1 second, y'all. I had a message. Maggie, thank you for some of your 3 months at tier 1. Oh, you are such a baddie. Hello. She's yum. And Maddie, thank you for the follow. No, Brooklyn. We're on pubs. Reese, thank you for the mustache. Hibachi sounds very good. Boys playing hard to get, and I like my men. I feel like you can low-key sing. Well, I do sing because I went to school for theater. We haven't done karaoke in a while. Maybe we do karaoke today, guys. I feel like it's been 18 years since we've done karaoke. Hold on. Oh my God, where? Jesus Christ, dude. Fuck, I'm dead. Oh. Pocky healed. I have no ammo. What am I doing? Fuck, I can't see. Oh, I hate this fucking game. I hate this fucking game. Oh my God, I hate this game. Like just, and this is why I hate movement in this game, because it's just back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Oh, God, makes me want to scream. Makes me want to scream. Emily, thank you for that, the mustache. Girl, what the hell? For the karaoke mode, we could do that or just regular karaoke too. Well, if we get the goals, we'll do it. Max, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Oh, just drives me nuts. Like, damn. I got them so low and they do that shit every time. Hi, Morven. No, it's not. It's Luffy. Oh, makes me throw up. It is so cute. It is. Is it Lucky on the Fortnite skin? That's so funny. Yeah, V. So I just sing a karaoke song. It's too Luffy. This song.
When I talk to
I did go to theater for school in New York, yeah.
Cupid walks right through
And shoots an arrow through my heart. Bum, 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 bum. It was good, Marvin. She's cute. That song is one of her songs. One of her songs. I sound like a loon, but don't you feel it too? That is cool though, Mayor. Confess I loved you from the start. Bro, thank you for that mustache. Just think. Wait, what does it go? Just thinking of you. I know my data from the start. Does she look like America IRL? No, that's what she looks like. She looks very similar to that, yeah. I guess I also have a hype train on purple. Buy stuff for about mushrooms for dinner. Okay, well, thank you, Esther. Just thinking of you. Confess I love you from the start. I thought the same one of the Olsen girls. Yeah, it does kind of look like one of the Olsen girls, actually. Yeah, that's fair. I'm not sure, Gamer Dad. We'll see. I know. We're keep saying do the karaoke on 4. I'll do the. Okay, if we do the goals today, we'll do the karaoke on 4. How's that sound? You want me to do the? The only thing is, I just don't know any songs for karaoke on 4. But I can try it. Just thinking of you. Storm Secret with a follow. So I thought you were Sadie Sink earlier. Hey, that's a compliment, right? We're gonna die here. Maybe. Hey girls, what you guys doing? Oh! Oh! Girl, what was that? Loved you from the start. That when thank you, man. I appreciate it. Just thinking of you. I do use vending machines, yeah. Whenever I have the money. If they're on low health list, then whenever I have the money for them. But in this game, wait, that was like a real username, I think. That's weird. Oh, getting shot at. Wait, fuck. Real person. God damn it. Third parties, dude. Every fucking time. Oh my God, and that doesn't fucking hit, of course. Fuck. I mean, thank you for that. The mustache, I appreciate it. Thank you. You owe money, Rue. Do you like new shockwaves? I like the new shockwaves because they don't let you travel as far, and so it's not like you're just flying halfway across the map. One thing I hated about the old shockwaves is it was just like crazy. It just was too much movement. It was too much. It was too much, you know, for me personally. Because I'm a fan of no movement in this game. You ever play builds? God, no. God, no. My brain can barely handle regular 0 build. I don't think I could handle builds. You know what I mean? I'd be like, there's too many buttons. There's too many buttons. Too many buttons. All right, where's that guy? Where is he over there? I have way too many people on me here. Is it a bot? Oh my god. I'm getting third partied. This guy's waiting up there. This is the dude who's been waiting me the whole time. He's been like waiting. I swear to fuck, if I did not get him, I was gonna lose it. I was like, girl, if I did not get him, I was. No! This game! Ah! I'm gonna lose it! Oh my god! For the love of oh, like, girl, it's a fourth party at that point. It's a fourth party at that point, y'all. My god. So real for that. The actual levitating. Girl, I'm gonna lay a fucking egg. I'm gonna lay a goddamn egg. Like, holy shit. I didn't even get a chance to breathe. Oh my god. Yeah, I always forget days of updates are like crazy days too. Oh my god. Yeah, we'll play the intro. Why not? Hold on.
Bitch, you know I'm
Death.
don't call just
That was crazy.
okay.
Oh my god, she's bald. Jesus.
You know I am that girl. Bitch, don't kiss and tell. It go from ATL.
Like, girl. Never in my life. What? And then this shit. And then this shit. Oh, I'm done. 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 Fortnite has crashed. Please cut the cameras. Introducing nicknames. Thanks a lot, Fortnite. Girl. Oh my god. They're rage baiting me. They're literally rage baiting me right now. And it's working. When I talk to you. And that's what happens when we laugh with our employees. You know how I feel. Successful. More plans. Hello, Raiders. Hello. Guys, you came in on our crash out because we are dying left and right in Fortnite. Hello, baddies. I hope you had a wonderful stream in Fortnite. Hopefully, it was fun. Victor, I love the skin. We love a crash out. I crashed out and then my game crashed. So we crashed out. But welcome in. We're so happy to have you here. If you're new, hi, I'm Vinny or Zesty Bestie. We're so happy to have you. Hydronolia. We play Fortnite, also a whole bunch of other games as well. Some of you may know who I am. If you don't, though, let's play our introduction to say hello. I'll tell you who I am. I am your Zesty Bestie, and this is...
It's Britney, bitch.
Well, yes. Vincent Sebastian. But yes, welcome on in, y'all. We're gonna try and not crash again. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. But welcome and thank you for all the follows and all the love. I hope you guys had a good stream today. And plans, if you have a raid and run, please do what you gotta do. And lots of love to y'all. All right. I've never seen you and Brittany in the same room, and there's a reason for that. Who is that skin? Okay, I'm gonna say it wrong again. Everyone's gonna yell at me. Luffy. Luffy. Or Leve. Or Leve. And I actually really do like the skin. I'm not gonna lie. The other dress style, it's a no for me. The other dress style for me is a no. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's Leve. 3 times did it. Good, Brie. We've had a great stream today. We actually, today was really fun. We did a gaming takeover of the Gaming Live TikTok account. So we were live for like an hour and a half. That's why we're on a little bit later than usual. Well, not actually, it's 6 o'clock right now. On the Gaming Live TikTok channel. So we took that over for like an hour and a half today, which was really cool. And then we did our regular stream today. Yeah, her white dress is so slay, but the dress, it's the flow of it. What's your favorite snack? I don't eat a lot while playing. I eat lunch usually or dinner. But you know I love Taco Bell. Girl, and that if I fell into that hole, I would have closed the game and said we're done. We're done for the day. I would have said we're done for the day. I saw it and I was like, girl, why did I think I wasn't gonna die there immediately? Jay, I may have plans tonight. So we're gonna go for a little bit, but I don't know. I may have plans tonight though. So, and you know what? I'm trying to be more of a human being and be social these days. Fucking, oh my God, dude. I can't. I quite literally can't even breathe for 2 seconds in the game. I can't breathe for 2 seconds in the game because these squatters like to do this the whole time. Bounce up and down on the goddamn dick. And that's how they get away with winning. Because they go like this the whole time. Squat up and down, squat up and down. My God. I think drops should be on, yeah. Like, my God. Thank God I don't take it, Hannah. They do, though. They do this stupid ass squat, 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 squat. I'm like, girl, bounce on it if you want to so bad. My God. A girl's crashing out today, okay. Is that what your plans are later? And shut your damn mouth, Jayhawks. Have I never seen your stream before? Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here, okay? We're bashful.
Now I'm bashful. I didn't know.
No.
I'm bashful. Everyone say, don't be bashful, Lorix.
Merv, thank you for the sub. I appreciate it. Guys, we are trying to set goals. We are going to do karaoke today if we hit both our goals on both plats today. All right. We are going to do karaoke. You're so funny. Oh, my God. I know I am. And I won't go bald either because I'm beautiful and have healthy hair. You haven't seen them in a while? I know. Bye, Brooklyn. See you later. Okay, we're not going to crash out this route, guys. It seems there are drops on Twitch for... Is there drops for Fortnite? I didn't know Fortnite had drops on. For what? What are the drops for? Hi, Brady. How are you? Yes, you get old skin. Oh, slay. They are on by regular on my stream, so they should work. They should work. Would drop's been buggy? Okay. It's for Save the World stuff. Thanks for letting me know, Krusty Cumsock. Your name kills me, babes. I love it. Shockwaves are back, but they got vaulted again, Kara. They were back for like 20 minutes and they revaulted them. They were back for like 20 minutes. Christopher said, thank you for the tiny bunny and the hand heart. Oh my gosh, thank you, baddie. Oh, damn. Yeah, they were in for like quite literally 5 seconds. They were in and out. Krusty, what? Well. Annoying. We always plan to. It's just that Ventress is live way later than I am. I'm in bed usually. Ventress is a 10 p.m. streamer, and I'm a 10 p.m. going to bed bitch. Why do you look so familiar? I don't know. That's the only reason we haven't collabed more recently. But we have collabed before. I just am up. She's up much, like her lives are so much later than I am on. What time's it there? It's 6 o'clock right now for me. Because he's super. If I ever start doing later streams again, which I've talked to her about doing, and I want to do, but I have some things I gotta deal with first, we will for sure. I do not do cooking videos, no. Murph with 5 gifted.
My diet, Dr. Kelp.
But probably won't happen for a while, though. I'll be real. You guys got to convince Ventress to come join me in the afternoon. That's what you guys got to do. Okay? If you want to see it. Because the girl cannot stay up too late. All right. All right. Games have been good, Minor Mom. They've been, well, actually, no, they have not. They've been awful. Hi, Maddie. Me in the middle. I'd absolutely do in the middle. She'd laugh at me, ask her. I know. We could do middle. I feel like middle. Honestly, I will stay up later eventually. It's just I'm trying to get my sleep schedule back on track. So before I like can be like, yeah, let me like take a, you know, stay up till, you know, 1 a.m. playing Fortnite. I need to like do that. Murph, thank you again for all those subs. Holy cow. I need to get my sleep schedule first. And we're basically back to the normal sleep schedule, so we're getting there. But gotta lock that bad boy in first. I'm watching all the shows that are like releasing top tier. Thank you. Oh my gosh, Sheila, that means a lot. Autumn, thank you for the heart meme. I'm watching stuff that's releasing now. So like Euphoria, The Boys, Queen Glitches with the sub. Hacks. What else is releasing weekly? The Rooster, and The Pit. Of Euphoria? No, not really. Euphoria's kind of. I don't like the time jump. The dolphin scene yet. Is it from like the most recent episode, Hash? I haven't watched the most recent episode, so it's from the most recent one. I haven't seen it yet. The Boys season 1. Oh, that. Yes. Now I know what you're talking about. Favorite movie? Oh, hold on. Let me lock in here. I'm just gonna do the dick hopping thing that everybody else does. Ad for diapers. Oh my gosh. Hi, Chloe. What is The Boys? It's a crazy show. Not gonna lie. Coquette, thank you for the follow. First Euphoria speak, yeah. I do remember the dolphin thing though. It's a crazy show. It's like superheroes, but all superheroes are basically evil as shit. Hi, Big General. Yes, I need to watch the new Handmaid's Tale stuff too. That's on my list to watch. That is on my list to watch. Not today, Blue Diamond, no. Were you here yesterday with the announcement with Minecraft, what we're changing about it? Was it yesterday that happened? I can't remember. What was that penguin? It's a new quest thing that they have, a little questing system. So it does like a little thing. Yes, yesterday, okay. Have you watched Gen V? No, I haven't. The thing is for me, I'm trying not to watch any shows that have full seasons released because I don't have time to binge. So I kind of had a conversation with folks yesterday about, I think I'm kind of over doing solo Minecraft. I think solo Minecraft for me, I've been like, I'm bored as shit. Also gaming in general, which I had a longer conversation about, but So what I need to do for Minecraft is start doing like either collabs or very specifically like horror mods or something along those lines. Because regular Minecraft right now has been kind of like, I just feel it's so repetitive for me right now. I say as we go into our 18th match of Fortnite. Like I just need a little more. So that's the tea there. That's the tea there right now. I don't know who Liv Morgan is. I don't know who that is. Years. I love Minecraft. I just need to like have a, I don't know, a different approach to it, I guess, in a way. In a way. Actually, I'm going to keep the chaos on. What's your zodiac sign? I'm a Cancer. But yeah, I had actually a very good conversation today. I love Silo and Severance. I've watched all three of those, Hash. I'll be real, Kara. I don't watch a lot of Fortnite because I am one, you know. You should join Kaylee or Lass's server. It's doing my Minecraft phase. Brie Lizzie, let's just say that there is an SMP that they are possibly part of that we are working on, I think. That is happening. Unless that's the one they're talking about. Are they talking about that one? Have they started it yet? I am ready. They haven't started. Is that what they're talking about, though? Oh, period. Yeah. They haven't, or unless you're talking about like an old one. Also, I don't know why my capture card's freaking out right now. I think it's okay, Sam. Tomodachi like Yash, and I thought about it. Not Yash, talking about their community servers. Oh, yes. Okay. I don't want to like be like, we're doing something, but we are doing something. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with it right now. Yeah, it's being weird today. I don't know. But there is something in the, let's just say there's something in the works. And that is between you, me, and everybody else in this chat, no one else, okay? Yeah. All right. Because I don't know if they want anything revealed yet or not. So that's between you, me, and nobody else. Why am I? Got him. Got him. Got him, honey. I need heals. Do they have heals? Ooh, pepperoni. Pepperoni. Weird comments on your TikTok. Yeah, I don't know why the no signal's happening. I don't know what's going on with it. I'll look into it after, or well, not today, but what is this super shredder? That's what they call my dick. Sorry, I don't know why I said that. What is this? What is the super shredder, guys? Or just give it the heart me. That's the new shotgun. Is it good? Is it good or ass, guys? You're what? Okay, calm down, everybody. It's a shotgun AR-1. My nightmare. I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna see what happens. Let's try it. Oh, top 10. Top 10. Guys, can we finish out the hat mustache goal? We're 4 away on those, by the way. I haven't seen it at all. So it's an AR too? Wow, that's ass. Wow, that sucks. Okay, so do I... And Mild, thank you for the head mustache. Okay, so what was that? So it's not an AR. The fall off's crazy. Guys, oh my God, thank you so much. And Jackson too, thank you guys. I don't know how close we are with the goal. Can you spam it? No. You can't like spam like, I mean, you can kind of spam it, I guess. The sound it makes is crazy. I do have them on, so it might be, but people have said that it's been glitching for other streamers all day today, Arnica, so it might just be that it's a glitch, unfortunately. I want to like try it out on somebody. In one of the quests? Okay. Where are they though? It can shoot really far range. Oh, I should start rivalry, right? I'm afraid I'm gonna do that and gonna get like sniped. Okay. Fucking. I see her over there. I only have 2 left on this, so I don't move. Guys, what's going on with my capture card? I'm sorry, guys. I know it's being. I don't know why it's doing that. It's being weird. It's not done that before. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, is there somebody alive or not? Are there? What's going on? Oh. Yeah, I might just need to like plug it in. Hi, mommy, how are you? Fuck, I got pinged. There it is. Fuck. I hate this. I hate that shotgun. What are you talking about? Oh God, that's awful. Oh God, that is awful. Oh, that sucked. Oh, I hated that. Yeah, that thing is awful. Yeah, did not like that. I wanted to try it. Not for me, honey. It's a no-go for me, queens. It's a no-go for me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Hold on, I got a million messages. Hold on. Mr. Waffle, yeah. It's just waffle. Just waffle. Sorry, guys. Hold on. I still think it's so funny, guys, that people comment on the video of me losing, that compilation video of me losing, and are like, oh my God, you suck. Girl, the point of the video is it's showing that I'm bad at the game. Like, girl, that's the point. Like, honey, that's the whole bit. It is, Haley, yeah. It's Luffy, or Leve. It's Leve. Leve. Guys, also make sure to go watch the new Pokemon video that we posted. We posted that today. Watch it all the way through if you love me and you think you are cool and you're hot and sexy. Oh, let me change the goal. Hey, Ashley, how are you? And I think with a follow. Yeah, I did not like that one. I don't even know, guys. We may not slay the goal. We may. I don't know. We got a little bit. Oh my God, it's 6:18. Today's gonna be. I do have plans tonight, guys. So I'm gonna end at our usual time. Just so you guys know, I'm not gonna go like super late tonight. Just so you guys know, okay. Just for everybody's thing there. Take full damage. I know. Yes, I have plans, and no, I don't need to share it with you. It's between myself and the wall. Okay. I'm not sure, honeybee. Justice, thank you for the hand heart. I appreciate it. It's between me, myself, and myself, okay? A girl needs to have nice things for herself. And that's that. Okay? All right. And that's all she wrote. Go be free, you're gonna bed rot. Mods, get up. No, I'm kidding. We are your plans? No. Unfortunately. Hi, Journey. Do you support LGBTQ? No, I hate them. Fuck them, am I right? Who needs them? Who needs them? I'm good, Journey. It's good to see you. Who needs them? They're so dramatic. And they crash out too easy. Girl, why did I land here? Terrible idea. Terrible idea. Thank you, Batty. Hi, Vanessa. I'm dead. Maybe. Well, I don't know. Oh, there you are. Girl, how did that... Girl! I swear to God. Ready for Act 2? I'm ready for something. I'll tell you what. For someone in high school, honest... Oh. No. I'll be real. I can't give any good advice that's not... Make sure to go see a doctor. But also know that life... your life is just starting. You know? Girl, I did not read that as what that was, Megan. I read something dirty. Dog Lover, thank you for the 17 for 3 months in advance. Yeah, see you later, you know. Ooh! I mean, I'm paying attention. Hi, body. Skip class. No, Fern, stop it. No. Bad. Bad, Fern. Thank you, Dog Lover, for the sub. Get us closer to the daily goal. Bad, Fern. Bad. Bad. No. Yes, Clay, for sure. No. Simp for you. Thank you for the Harvey. Oh, over here. I only have 6 bullets, I just noticed. Bot. Bot. Bot, baby. I was friendly. Well, okay. He got stuck. He got stuck in the wall, guys. Ooh. Practicing headshots, practicing headshots. Practicing headshots, practicing headshots, practicing headshots. Okay. Practicing headshots. All right. We're practicing headshots, guys. I got to keep practicing them. I got to get better with the headshots, y'all. All right. God dang it. We're practicing. Well, okay. And also, hi, Nicole. Welcome in. I like it so far. I'm glad you do. It's a little crazy in here sometimes. Guys, I don't know what's going on with my capture card. Elizabeth, thank you for the follow. I mean, thankfully, it's not like shutting down completely. It's just giving an error. Honestly, I've had this capture card for 6 years, so it also might slowly just be time to get a new capture card. I've just been like waiting, you know what I mean? Like it may finally be shitting the bed. Yes, yeah. Why am I doing that? Hello, I'm gonna do that. Is it expensive? They're like $100 around that. I haven't checked the recent prices of them. But I do have an Elgato partnership, which if you buy anything from Elgato, make sure you use my code ZestyBestie for 20% off your order. And I'll use my code for it if I do. Abby, probably about 45 more minutes. Maybe a little bit longer. We'll see. Oh, fuck. I hate this. Landon, I know you're a kid. I know you're a kid. I hope you get a dog that you love, Landon, okay? I hope you get a dog that your parents get you and you grow up with that dog and you love it, and then one day you watch it get hit by a car. Okay? I hope you watch that dog get hit by a car. Anyways, starting again. and I hope it feels awful. And that's what you get for when I'm trying to do a moment. By the exact scenario happened to my little brother. What did the dog do wrong? Listen. Listen. Okay, fine. It won't be a dog. A goldfish. Is that better for everybody? Is that better? It's the new Leve skin or Luffy skin. How is the goldfish getting hit by a car? I'll throw it in the road. Guys, did I ever tell you how I killed my hamster when I was a kid? Sorry, somebody brought up a hamster. Did I ever tell you that story? Did I ever tell you that story? How I killed my hamster when I was a kid. Hamster that freezes on the AC. So I had a hamster. My mom was like, you need to like, you know, clean the hamster's cage or whatever. You know what I mean? Well, let me tell the story, Emily. Damn. Okay. Jeez. So I don't know. I'm like probably 11. No, maybe 9 or 10. I don't know. Yeah, I was young. And I go to clean the you know, the cage or whatever, and I put the hamster into the ball and it's rolling around or whatever, and that's fine. I clean the thing. I go to get the hamster and take it out of this is awful, guys. Take it out of the ball, right? And it bites my finger. Because I think maybe I squeezed a little too hard. I was a kid. And so my reaction was to fling it. And girl, did I fling it. And let's just say she went right against the wall. Her name was Jitters. That's what her name was. Her name was Jitters. And Jitters was not jittering no more. Flattened, baby. Milk tea, we got a little bit longer still. So anyways, that's how I killed my hamster when I was a kid. It bit me. What do you want me to do? What was I supposed to do? I was a kid. What did your mother say? She was mad. But then I told her it bit me and she was like, okay, whatever. How'd you even tell your mom? She was just like, okay. My mom hated the hamster, to be fair. Because you know how hamsters actually kind of like stink and are awful? She kind of hated it. So she wasn't that upset that it died. She was like, okay. She was like, all right. R.I.P. She was like, it's fine. So anyways, and that's the story of how I killed my pet hamster. Suspicious. Oh, Wrecker Revolver. All right, come here, D1 Fortnite guy. Where are you? I have the Wrecker Revolver. What was the hamster's name? Jitters. I can't remember. Can I? Oh, you can. You can double pump. You can double pump. I thought they couldn't do that. Yeah, they did bring out the revolver. I thought you couldn't double pump. That's what she said. Well, I think it's only with the chaos. Oh, is the pacing not right otherwise? Guys, I'm sorry about my capture card, by the way. Yeah. Madison with the follow. Wait, Madison, you've been following me before, right? Or you knew? Or does someone have the exact same? Oh my God, wait. Sorry, I read Madison with the seal, and now there's Madison who followed with the cat. And it's the exact same spelling. Just being sassy. God, I forgot. Nope, the distance. I forgot they nerfed the distance. We're gonna give the follow. Guys, we're 6 subs away from our sub goal on purple, by the way. And I think we're, oh, someone's up top there, I think. Wait, was there? Did I see somebody up there? Am I crazy? I could have swore I saw someone up there. No, I know you have been. Oh, maybe I just was blind. I think we're halfway with our goal on TikTok too. And we will do some karaoke. Oh, thanks, Brookie. Okay, where's I can't tell if D1 Fortnite guy is a bot or real. There he is. He's real. He's real. He's real. Oh my God. What are we doing here? Where did he go? Where is he? Is he up? Did he go up top there? He must have went up top there. He ran up there when you rotated. My God. See if I don't even know these days. See, I don't like this because I only have half health now because I took fall damage. I feel like I should leave. I think I'm gonna leave. I don't think I want to take. I don't want to take damage, fall damage here. I only have half health and I have no heals. She's running, honey. She gets to go for now. Greens, and of course, I leave and he starts firing like a little biatch. I can't see him from that far away. Like, come on over, dude. Where's Pizza and Warehouse? Whatever, I'm leaving. I'm gonna go with the rose. Okay. Okay. He's DL. Bad of your car? I know. My car is safe. But yes, guys, we have a little bit longer to see if we can slay out the goals for the day. We'll do karaoke if we do. Did he leave? Wait. Oh, the rivalry's done. I was like, where'd he go? He's yelling, hi, Gabriel, how are you? What's the glider from? I have no idea what it's from. I think it was just an individual glider in the shop, Malls. I'll be real. I don't know what it's from. I know the fucking eggplant map. My literal worst nightmare. This map haunts me. This map quite literally haunts me. Yeah, the flaccid zone, truly. Which glider? Oh, hold on. Fuck, I got this guy. I hate this shit, dude. I can't hit a shot on this guy. I couldn't hit a single shot. Not a single shot on him. Oh my God, I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore, y'all. The games are so sweaty today. I can't even breathe. I'll tell you what, I cannot even breathe. Oh. Angels together hurt me. Ooh. Ooh. We're gonna yap for a few. A girl's gotta stop playing for a minute. Hi, Sam, how are you? It's a new Luffy skin. Maybe you're just bad at the game. Maybe you're a little bitch. Bye. Actually, no, you don't get to leave yet. Why do you think that you get to say that with your nasty ass personality? With your nasty ass personality. You want a 1v1 actually, Meow? What's your username? What's your username? Let's 1v1. If you want to say I'm bad at the game, square up right now, bitch. Square up right now. What's your username? I'll add you. I'm ready to go. Stephanie with a follow. What's your username? Maxie with a follow. What's your username? I know, Holly. Seriously, Stephanie with a follow. No, it's not a kid because it's a fucking Swiftie. It's always a Swiftie. Always a Swiftie. JW with the follow too. Say that with my dad. No, I'm not going to, Meow. I want your username so you can 1v1 me. What's your username, Meow? Let's go. If you want to say bad at the game, come on. Sexist? Hot girl, where? In what world? Why? Because I said it's always a Swiftie. I'm sorry that I don't like a person who's, in my opinion, a bad person. I sorry that I don't respect billionaires. I don't know what you want me to say. Sorry that I don't respect someone who has the biggest carbon footprint on the planet Earth right now. I don't know what you want me to say there. Like, what am I going to do? That's not sexist. That's just caring about our environment. You guys know my stance on Taylor Swift. I've always said that. Also, there are plenty of male Swifties. I know, I'm waiting for the username. Like, I want it. I'm like ready to go. They're not going to give it. Hi, Joe Clark. How are you? Yeah, but data centers too. Do you want her to fly economy? No, I don't want her to fly private to her fucking boyfriend's football games every week. Also, 98% of famous people don't fly private. Shockingly. Like 98% do not. So, I don't know. Like, girl, please. Hi, Joe Clark. It's good to see you. Like, come on. I'm doing good. Yeah, I gotta be careful because if I say anything else about Taylor Swift, I'm gonna get everybody else in the chat who are Swifties on me, which I don't need today. Which a girl does not need that today. I'll tell you that much. Woogity, thank you for the follow. I'm glad you're here. Okay, they don't want to give me a username. Damn. Well, that's disappointing. That's disappointing. I'm a Swiftie. Oh, I'm a huge Taylor Swift hater. I'm just a huge Taylor Swift hater. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I just am. I'm not a Taylor Swift fan. Dead ass. Yeah, I just don't like her. I don't. Thank you, Amy Louise. Exactly, large gaping hole. Large gaping hole just said no one can be a billionaire, be ethical. And that's the T. My user is that's Zesty Bestie. I'm sure it is Meow Queequee. As a person or a music, I mean, as a person, I don't enjoy as a billionaire, what she does and what she currently stands with. And then I think lately her music's whatever. I don't know. Dickmatized to me is not necessarily a good lyricism, but whatever. You know, being dickmatized by Travis Kelce's Redwood is not necessarily something that's my thing per se. Oh, it's not. I might just need to refresh. It's just very, yeah. I don't know. Again, you guys know my take on it. You guys have always known my take on it. My take has always been that she is not an ethical billionaire. And if you want to know who an ethical billionaire is, it's Dolly Parton, because Dolly Parton has given away all of her money to charity. And so she's not a billionaire anymore. You beg for gifts and crime stream people don't gift? Yeah, absolutely. You see me doing that right now. You got me, Malkoopy. You got me, babes. Yeah, I know. No, Pretzel, you're fine. I saw it. Sometimes the app does that. You got it, babes. Mods, we can grab that person when you're ready. Yeah, I mean, people can like to. Listen, I don't care if you like Taylor Swift. It doesn't bother me, but that's just my opinion on her. You know what I mean? That's something we can disagree on. I just don't think she's ethical, you know. Jonay, thank you for the sub. I appreciate it. Like, it's not a big deal. You need more for her? Yeah. You just eventually it just goes away. Tasha, thank you for the sub 2. Thank you, Batty. Oh. Yeah, there's just, I mean, it's just what it is. It's okay. It's all good. But I've also received death threats from Taylor Swift fans. So, you know, for saying that I don't like her. So, I mean, there is, I've never, for the most part, besides people in our community, like people are, I don't know. That's insane. Yeah. No. I'm not playing anybody there. Oh, yeah. I mean, I've had people quit modding for me because I said I didn't like Taylor Swift. Which is fine. You know what I mean? I mean, whatever. But I think if it controls your life that much, then there's a bigger thing going on. You know what I mean? I think there's just a bigger thing going on, you know? I think there's a bigger conversation to have there. You know what I mean? If it controls your life that much over my opinion on another artist, I guess. I'll take their place of wink wink. Yeah, exactly, Becca. Bow. Oh, girl, we do stuff. You'd be surprised. Somebody's down here. I'm trying to like. Oh, where are they? I missed my shots. Whoa. Of course, Pretzel. I always will be. Girl, it's been too hot out here. I know. Listen, I don't listen. We're gonna stop we'll stop the conversation. You know what I mean? Because I don't want anybody to get mad because I was saying anything bad about Swift stuff. It's not that big of a deal, but I just have my opinions on her specifically, and that's okay. You know what I mean? And you could love her and be fine with it too. Do you have aimbot? If so, do you recommend using it? No, girl, you get banned. Did they have a purple vector? Did I miss it? I missed it. Yeah, it's okay. Thank you. I missed it. Oh, yeah. Alicia, thank you for the 7th Prime as well. Starting a hype trade. A cop, thank you for the follow too. And I also feel that way about every billionaire in the world too. You know what I mean? I feel that there are a lot of billionaires, most billionaires don't do anything for the world, you know? Just our sub goal is today. True word, my Matthew, yeah. These are breakfast someone just like this. Yeah. Trigger warning, Matthew Morrison. Horrifying. If you're billionaire, why? Exactly. What happens at the time where the rivalry ends? Nothing. It just runs out. It just runs out. Hash. Thank you for completing out the sub goal. What about Adam Sandler? Isn't he a billionaire? Is he a billionaire? I don't even know. millionaire. Yeah, it is of my opinion that anybody who enters into the B billionaire class should have half of their money gone, or should be putting it towards causes, because no one needs to have that much money in the world. They just don't. You don't need to have that much money in the world. In a capitalist society, we don't need that. You know what I mean? But that's a larger conversation. That's a not specific conversation. That's a larger conversation, personally. Random regional sign language. I took lessons in high school, but I don't remember any of it. Movie star you think is the hottest? Theo James. It's like, share it with me. Hello, Diego. How are you? More than 15. Yeah. He made the Adam Sandler empire. Is there an Adam Sandler empire? No! Oh my God. Oh, that was close. I went to M for retirement. Theo James so real. I mean, he's so hot. Kim, there are people dying. Steph, it's 6:45. I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to do the customs today. I'll be real. I said earlier that I don't think I'm gonna be able to do them, and I'm gonna be real. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do them. I'll be real. I have a date, so I'm gonna go on my date and do my date and have my date tonight. So we're ending at 7 on time. We're ending on time. Oh. Oh. All right. And that's that. And that's the last time mentioning it. Can I say Queso can get it? That man is fine. Listen, absolutely you can say that. No, guys, everybody always asks me if I'm getting with the guy that my mom tried to set me up with. That man is like 45. He lives like several states away, and he's divorced like twice. No. Can we get an update tomorrow? Depending, but also probably not. I do like to keep something. That's why I don't talk a lot about not that I don't mind talking about my dating life, but please, I can't with her, Hannah. But depends. Also, I'm not gonna be live tomorrow. That's the other thing. That's the other thing I wanted to say. If you are joining in now and have not been here today, we won't be live tomorrow or Saturday. I am taking a little, not vacay, but I'm going to a Pokemon card show on Saturday. And I'm going to visit a friend, not the date friend, just my aunt and a friend, tomorrow and Saturday. So because I need like a day. I need to get out of this damn house for a day. Got to fill my cup up. Exactly. Yeah, I had to say, because people ask you, that's why I had to clarify. Yeah. Oh, we love Pokemon here. I'm on my Pokemon era right now. So that's the tea, that's the shade for tomorrow. Because I'm gonna go early in the morning, I think. Or my plan is to go early in the morning. Pat the homeownership, yeah. She's trying to do something. Turn around, Miss Squirrel. Fuck. Girl, why am I in the god stratosphere? Oh my god. Hello? This game, dude. Oh my god, I can't even fucking... Fuck it, bye. Bye. I ain't doing this shit. I'm not doing this shit. Like, girl, I can't even get up the goddamn mountain. Bye. I'm not chasing. All right. I ain't doing that. I ain't chasing. I have not Valen. Hannah, thank you for the follow. Like, girl, I can't. Is that this chase? It's just that I couldn't get up this stupid ass mountain. I'm like, I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose it. Because they did get out there quick. Because they knew they were losing. Here, thank you for the follow. And guys, thank you for saying the goals on purple. It means a lot to me. Hi, Leah. How are you? Bree, no, we're not gonna do customs today. I'm sorry. We will do them the next time we play Fortnite, though. I make this solemn, sworn promise to you all that we will do customs the next time we play Fortnite, which will probably be on Sunday, if I get home in time on Sunday.
A single mom
Amara with
works
the
two jobs,
galaxy.
who loves her kids and never
Of course,
stops.
Kurt, yes.
With gentle hands and the heart of a fighter. I'm a survivor.
They just take the thing with customs, I love doing them and I'm glad we got it to work, but also I have no idea if it's going to work again today or it's going to be buggy like it was yesterday. And then also it takes a lot, like we didn't do the first game until 45 minutes of us setting it up. So it does take like a chunk of time and I should have planned for it better. Somebody's nearby.
Here we go.
Mar with the money gun. Oh my gosh. So apologies for those who are waiting for them. If you were. If you were waiting for them, apologies. Oh my god, there she is. What's she doing? Not gonna lie, I don't know what this chick is doing. She's been like waiting the whole time. It's the same girl again over there. Girl. I hate her. She died. Did she die? Oh my god, she didn't. I hate her. It's because it's for everybody. Like, girl, she was so low. I don't even know how she got me, dude. I don't even know how she was so low. You gotta be joking, honey. You gotta be joking. You gotta be joking. Ain't no way. Are you finding me sweaty? Yeah, it's very sweaty right now. It's very sweaty. Okay, crazy. Ambrosia, how are you? Girl, she's sweaty as all can be. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. She's sweaty as well. All get out. I'm doing good though. All right, baddies. It's 6:52. I'm like trying to see if we have one more time for one more game, or if we're at. If she Mandalorian eliminate him, he did it to me. He took my health down as a Star Wars kid. Robert, what are you saying, girl? What you saying, girl? Yes, girl. Yes, and honey. It's gotta be sweatier. Yeah, I know. I just need to keep practicing headshots. You know what? Since we didn't do customs, I'll do karaoke. Even though we didn't say the goal on TikTok, I'll do karaoke. How's that sound? We'll end the day with a little karaoke. Yeah. 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 Baddies. How's that sound? Okay. Okay.
Eczema is unpredictable.
Girl, you got back in time for karaoke. You did. You did. Hopefully this is the right one. We're gonna do it as long as he needs me because that's what I feel like singing today. So that's what we're doing. Can you hear it okay? As long as he needs me. Oh yes, he does need me. In spite of what you see, I'm sure that he needs me. Who else would love him still when they've been used so ill? He knows I always will. as long as he needs me. I miss him so much when he is gone, but when he's near me, I don't let on the way I feel inside, the love I have to hide, the hell I've got, my pride, as long as he needs me. He doesn't say the things he should. He acts the way he thinks he should. That's right, I don't know. Alicia. I have no water. I'm out of water. As long as he clocked at me, I know where I must be. I'll cling on steadfastly, as long as he needs me, as long as life is long. I'll love him right or wrong, and somehow I'll be strong, as long as he needs me. If you are lonely, then you will know when someone needs you, you love them so. Thank you, Batty. Thank you all. Thank you, kiddos. I'll do one more. I'll do one more. Okay. What should we do? Do I do another sad one? I really want to, I love to do ones that I like to do. Okay, hold on. Hold on. That is called As Long As He Needs Me from Oliver, the musical. Oliver, the musical. And this is Being Alive from Company. You play instruments? I play the piano. Did you guys know that, right? I play the piano. Do people know that? Maybe people don't know that. Shut up. I don't play it like proficiently, but I took lessons for years. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, it started already. Girl, it's so quiet. Hold on. Can you hear this music? Someone to hold you too close. Someone to hurt you too deep. Someone to sit in your chair to ruin your sleep. Yeah. I haven't played it in ages, though. I haven't played the piano in ages. Someone to need you too much. Someone to know you too well. Someone to pull you up short, to put you through hell. Bumping it down. Someone you have to let in. Someone whose feelings you spare. Someone who, like it or not, will want you to share a little, a lot. There's dialogue happening throughout all of this. That's why it's so. The sound is so whatever. Same thing for the hint art. Someone to crowd you with love. Someone to force you to care. Someone to make you come through, who'll always be there, as frightened as you of being alive, being alive, being alive, being alive. Not Luffy just spinning and twirling to your singing? Yeah. Girl, what can't you do? Math. Math. I can't do math. Somebody hold me too close. Somebody hurt me too deep. Somebody sit in my chair and ruin my sleep and make me aware of being alive. Being alive. Somebody need me too much. Somebody know me too well. Somebody pull me up short and put me through hell and give me support for being alive. Make me alive. Make me alive. Make me confused. Mock me with praise. Let me be used. Bury my days. But alone is alone. Not alive. Somebody crown me with love. Somebody force me to care. Somebody make me come through. I'll always be there, as frightened as you, to help us survive. Being And there you go, baddies. And there's your karaoke, honey. Bring it home, honey.
Booking.com has all kinds of stays.
Yeah, girl. Anyways, queens. There you go. There you go. Girls, my throat is dry. I need some water and some other things. So we're going to end here. I want to say thank you to all of you so much. We had a great week. Again, tomorrow, baddies, I'm taking a day off tomorrow. I'm going to go visit some family, and then I'm going to a Pokemon show on Saturday. I'll vlog it. I'll post. Don't worry. I won't be gone forever. But I want to thank you. You guys are wonderful. You're beautiful. You're fabulous. Please take care of yourselves. Thank you for those who were here. I know some folks left, had to leave early. We will be live tomorrow. Not tomorrow. We'll be live on Sunday. Sunday. So join us for that. And yeah, I want to thank you guys. Y'all are wonderful. Thank you for supporting me. I know today's stream was at a different time too because of the TikTok live stuff. So thank you for that as well. We'll have more Fortnite probably on Sunday or other games. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what we're doing. I love you lots. Please take care of yourselves. All right. I love you dearly. I'm going to end the TikTok live. Come join us on Twitch. I love you too. To my Swifties, please know I love you as well. Even though I was talking shit about Swiftie earlier. I love you guys. Y'all are wonderful. Stay fabulous. Stay wonderful. Be who you are. Be gay. Be merry. Go suck it if you want to. And we're going to end the TikTok live. I love you lots. Mwah. Come join us on Twitch for the raid. Bye. Bye. Happy weekend, y'all. Bye. All right. Baddies, let's raid on Twitch. Who do we have? Hidden Gem is live. Let's raid Hidden Gem, shall we? I love you guys so much. Thank you for being you. Thank you for adjusting for the schedule for today's TikTok thing. Y'all are amazing. Yeah. Thank you for being wonderful. I love you lots. Take care of yourselves. Get some rest. Get some food. Play some Fortnite if you want to. Join the raid. I love you. All right. Bye. You're fabulous. Stay beautiful, honey. I'm going to find me out.